Or get through this. Like you say, one day at a time, get stuff in there. The next stage, that's what I play on. I'm stressed over here. No, we don't do what you need. Try to get money. Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll wait. I'll wait till 6:15. I know I'm 15 after. Can I?
Yes.
I would prefer not to start without them. Yes, ma'am. So participants, 0 attendees. Okay, so to our guests online, we are short of a we are short of a quorum, but this is our workshop meeting. And so there are no actionable items to be voted on for the workshop meeting. It's not a part of our charter. It's actually something that was created a couple of administrations ago to function as a working group meeting prior to the actual city council meeting. The workshops are typically held on discussion items that will eventually come up for the vote or for the purpose of providing information to members. So right now there are only 2 of us here. We're short of a quorum for the workshop. We're going to wait until 6:15, and then we'll go ahead with the presentation. Because it's recorded, that allows us to provide documentation of what occurred at the workshop to members should they be absent. So if everybody is good with that, we'll just wait until we get to 6:15, and then we'll go from there.
Makes sense to us. Thanks.
This is the same. I got 2 copies. It's an extra copy for.
Yeah.
Do you have a copy of this?
Yes, you got a copy.
Okay, this is just.
This one's all adjusted by correctly. That one was a little munched up when it came from my parents, so this one.
Okay.
I know, right? Hi, how are you, Steve? Good, good, great. And how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Bill Lane.
Okay.
God, the facts are scary sometimes. Okay. So goddamn straightforward. Shall see. That's all I can say. Well, Ms. Manica, let's go ahead and get the information out there. If we have people watching online, I want to make sure that the information is provided to them in a timely manner. After looking at the budget and the scope of this project, I'm really excited. So here we are at 6:12. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Highland Park City Council in-person and virtual workshop scheduled for this evening, Monday, July 21st, 2025 at 6 p.m. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Shafi, Councilwoman Martin, Councilwoman Manica. Here. Council Pro Tem Robinson, Council President Thomas.
Here. Ladies and gentlemen, as is standard for a regularly scheduled city council meeting, we require a quorum of at least 3 members for that meeting. The workshop meeting, on the other hand, is something it's a creation of previous administrations, and it is formally a working group meeting where projects related to items that will eventually come up for vote are presented to the citizens. Therefore, it's possible for us to have a workshop meeting as long as it's in a public forum under the Open Meetings Act. And because we don't have a quorum, we're not going to forego having the workshop. This is the second workshop for the month of August. It is a standard practice for us to hold 1 workshop per month based on a motion that was voted on by members of City Council and approved. This is not a part of the charter. This is an opportunity for further discussion and information to be provided. So we're going to go ahead and proceed with that meeting, regardless of the fact that we don't have the other members present. So what I would like to ask us to do is to start with the Sparks Grant. Now, the Sparks Grant was voted on by council and approved in the past. And today you're going to talk to us about amendments or modifications to the framework for that. We have Ms. Sue Norander here speaking on behalf of the Recreation Department. I'm going to turn the microphone over to her and allow her to give us a little bit more information about the Sparks Grant.
Okay, good evening. The reason we're here is that we have our prime provider, which was our architectural firm, the Smith Group, and they're 90% complete with the project. So we wanted to get the information out to council and to the public that this is the stage we're in and this is what our project would look like. And I gave you a copy of the budget. So as they're going through all the drawings, you can sort of see where it correlates to what's going on with the project. We will soon be bringing a request to go out for bid for the projects. So we wanted this information to be on your desks and for you to review it and ask any questions that you have.
Mr. Lackey, do you have their slides or will they be presenting their own slides?
They'll be doing their own presenting.
Okay, excellent.
And
Okay,
these are the gentlemen from the Smith Group.
all right, gentlemen, would you mind introducing yourself to the community, please?
Sure, I'd be happy to. I'm Bob Doyle.
Come off screen share just for a second. Come off screen share just for a second. Everybody wants to see your beautiful smile, sir.
Oh, please. Okay,
Hello. Let the record show that Ms. Martin and Mr. Al-Shafi have joined the workshop. We're still on screen share.
okay. Yeah, stop
I
sharing.
guess it's giving us the board view.
Okay,
There you are.
there we go. Okay, so I'm Bob Doyle. I'm a principal and partner at Smith Group. I'm a landscape architect and I've been in the business for 40 years. And with me is Nick. Go ahead, Nick.
Hello, I'm Nick Gattoni. I'm an entry-level landscape designer at Smith Group, and I'm a part of the Oxfield project team.
The person that we're missing tonight is Mark Woodhurst, who is the project manager. Mark is handling some family business this evening and couldn't join us.
Thank you so much for taking the time to introduce yourself. I'll allow you to go back to your presentation, sir, uninterrupted.
What was Nick's last name?
Nick, what was your name again? Your last name?
Gattoni,
A little louder.
Gattoni,
Tony.
Gattoni.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You bet.
Take it away, gentlemen.
Okay. So it should be coming here in a second. So we're very happy to give you this overview on the Ives Field project this evening. It's been a project that's in the works for a number of years. If you want to go to the next slide. We've introduced ourselves, but we're going to give you an overview of the project, talk a little bit about the costs and the budget, and then where we're going from here, a little rundown of the project schedule. So to start, this is a project that was funded through ARPA, and the city was awarded $982,700 for the project. It came through the Council of Michigan Foundations and the DNR. So the DNR is assisting in administrating the grant. We're working with the Smith Group, and we also have on the team NTH Environmental, who provide environmental services to make sure everybody is safe. We've had a number of reviews of the documents, and as referenced earlier, we're about at 90% complete. The grant included funding for 2 softball fields and backstops at Ives Park, a new pickleball court, a new playground, and sidewalks. So we are working to structure the bidding documents to give the city as much flexibility as possible to spend as much of the grant as possible to improve recreation in the community and at Ives Park and specifically. So we're doing it in 2 different bid packages. The first is the playground itself, and the second is the remaining park elements. So in the base bid of what we expect to be able to get built include improvements to the 2 softball fields, which you can see in the lower left and then in the middle of the site, a new playground, and then a new pickleball court and some additional sidewalks in the park. So this is an enlarged plan of the northeast corner of the park. And you can see where we're going to have a playground near the existing fitness area, and then a pickleball court and a sidewalk connecting to the street. Through another grant that the city engineer is administrating, there's going to be a sidewalk running to the south and then hooking up to Joe Louis Greenway. So between those 2 projects, it's really going to be a big impact for the park. Here's a quick sketch of the park, and you can see the playground, the pickleball, potentially a future project for a picnic and social pavilion, and then you see the existing fitness area. So there'll be some landscape included, as well as new paving and fencing around the pickleball so that it all works nicely. So we're including in the bid a series of bid alternates. Now, what a bid alternate allows us to do is if we get good, solid bids that are below the budget, we can continue to add some things into the project that improve the park experience. And these are things that are all allowable within the grant. I'll let Nick walk you through each of the different additive elements.
So in the southwest corner, we have the backstop hood for Field 1. The backstop hood would help, protect Hamilton Avenue from foul balls going over the fence and into the street. Alternate 2 would be dugout pads for Field 1, so allowing players to sit down on the bench while they're, waiting to play the game. Alternate 3 would be dugout pad for field 2 in the middle. Alternate 4 would be a connection walk that goes south of the fitness pad, connecting to the MCA walkway and then to ours as well. Alternate 5 would be the connection walkway from the playground to field 2. And then alternate 6 is the concrete pad between the playground and pickleball courts for the shelter area. 7 would be footings for that potential shelter area. And then 8 would be specialty painting for the pickleball court.
So within the overall budget, there's the grant for 982,700. Then there are the survey, environmental services and design fees and construction administration fees at 88,000. And then a part of the grant also helps fund the time and effort that Highland Park administrative staff have to take in order to make the project work. And then you can see the breakdown then of what each of the main elements of the park may cost. We also like to keep a little pocket of money within the budget to help deal with any unforeseen conditions. So if they're digging up the playground area to set the posts for the playground and they run into, an old concrete foundation, that there's money that's still remaining in the budget to help pull that foundation out and make room for the play structure. So we're structuring the bid and the construction phase of work to maintain flexibility, again, so that we can make sure that we can leverage as much of that grant money as possible to making improvements to the park. So looking ahead, we are have been working through the engineering of the plans, where the construction documents have been through 30, 60, and 90% milestones. We're presenting to you this evening. We're doing, during this week, we're doing internal quality assurance review of the drawings. Next week, we will submit them to the community foundations group to make sure that the plans are consistent with the grant. And then this September, which is really only a month and a half away, then we would put the project out to bid. We're going to have it again, as I referenced earlier, it's going to be bid in 2 different sets. One is the basic park improvements, and then secondly, a bid for the playground set. And one of the reasons we're doing that is because the playground manufacturers are typically going to put a playground in a turnkey way. They're going to put in surfacing, safe surfacing underneath the playground. They're going to put the edge of the playground in. And if we bid it all together, the general contractor would mark up the playground provider's bid by 10%. So we just end up paying 10% more. So by splitting it in 2, it will save some money. So we'll get the bids back in by early October. We'll review the bids, make recommendations, and then come back to you in one of the October council meetings for your approval of the contracts. And then, or approval of the contractors, excuse me. And then we will proceed with preparing contracts with the selected contractors. So we have to, per this grant, we have to have all the funds allocated by the end of the year. So we're on target to do that. And then construction would start next spring. So with that, I think that's probably the end of the presentation. We tried to keep it brief but thorough. If council members have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
Please open the floor up. Ms. Monica, go ahead.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good evening. I have a question about each, I guess, line item, so to speak. Is there a lag in there or some extra money in case parts or supplies increase in cost?
Yes, there
Or is
is.
that, okay?
Typically,
It's-
we're gonna set aside, we want to go into, if we're gonna build a $10 project, let's say, you'd want to get a bid that was about $9.50. So you had a little extra money during construction. Also, we've built in contingencies for costs going up. So I think we should be covered. It's a difficult market right now to predict where construction costs are going. But we are, engaged and involved in a lot of different projects, so we're tracking it as best we can.
Let the record show that Council Pro Tem Robertson joined us.
Good afternoon. So here's my next question. Is there any way to go back to the slide? I could not identify where the current workout station is.
Oh, sure. Go back to this one with the red. Okay, so this is the whole project site with the old school building in the lower right, and then you see the red area marked for playground, and just adjacent to that, lower on the page is where the existing fitness station is.
Can you go back to the actual, like the grass, I don't know.
The
what
rendering.
kind of- Thank you.
Yeah. So the blue is the fitness area. We don't have details in there, of course, but
Wow, it looks so much bigger on the rendering. I feel like the fitness pad is over there where the playground is, actually.
well, we'll take a look at that. We did have the site surveyed by our survey team, so
It looks like to me. 'Cause we're
it
talking about
should
the
be
corner.
reasonably accurate. But
And
we can
those
still
are
take a look.
What's on the other side of the tree?
And these are proposed trees.
Sorry.
There's some beautiful existing oaks and honey locusts on the west side of that workout pad, but the trees and vegetation you're seeing on the right side are proposed.
Give me just a second. I want to show something here.
I was speaking of the trees that's going along the playground. It's making a T. See the other little
Yes,
dirt patch?
Can you pull out a screen share for just a second? They even made it blue. It's actually pretty substantial when you look, I didn't realize it was that big. I've been there a couple of times. It's actually a pretty big representation of
Okay,
it.
so I see it now, I guess. Too bad they can't be side by side.
So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let you,
That's in District 3.
I'm gonna let you
That's the
tee
right
up.
So, okay, so that's gonna be by that's not the McKinsey field.
It's Ivansfield, Reggie
Oh,
McKenzie
the
Field.
event, The first one that they showed up that whole thing plus the field, but I was just, had a question about on the corner.
As soon as we get done, I want to have you pull your rendering back up, okay?
Okay.
Make it larger for me, please. Mr. Thomas, Council President Thomas. So that blue spot he was telling me is, right, just in the other drawings, I just didn't picture it being that large. It seemed like the fitness center on the pictures was all the way down where we do
So-
the music. thing.
So I'm assuming the playground will go here.
Yes.
Yeah,
The pagoda will go here. The pickleball court will go here.
yes, yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop and let them show us their rendering again. Better? Better understand, better perspective?
Yeah, it helps after looking at the air photo you put on there.
Assuming that those trees all make it, they'll look like this.
That is benches, is that benches now that pickleball?
I believe those are benches.
Because we're gonna remove the sign then, right? So,
Ooh, that's
so
good.
no? But it's not on this drawing, right? Okay, I don't have any more questions, Mr. President.
Okay, anyone else have any questions for our group here or for Ms. Norander?
I got one question.
Go right ahead, sir.
I thought it said December.
No, it doesn't start till next year, right?
Yeah, we have to allocate.
They have all the funding secured is December. We start the project in early spring, so we'll be March. I think we'll be
And they come back before us in October, right?
Of this, yeah, they come back in October of this, yeah, for contracts, correct.
Okay.
Any additional questions?
I do.
Go ahead, please.
I know we have is that the walkway that's going to go across to, the Greenway? He mentioned the Greenway.
I think it's the tail end coming off of the fitness area.
Yep, that's right.
From the fitness area where it comes like a Y and it comes down, that's actually going south. So that walkway will go south behind the baseball diamond across Pitkin to the Greenway. And all these walkways will also be ADA accessible in order to make all of the equipment accessible to everyone.
Great point, thanks.
Any additional questions?
Parking.
And there are contingency fees. That's why they have the alternatives. If we don't have to use the funding in the contingency fund, then we'll be able to do some of those other alternatives.
Yeah.
And we listed them in priority as to what we would do first and what we would do second.
Oh, we're doing the playground first, right?
Well, no, for the contingency pieces.
Oh, okay.
So
Do you have an idea of what may be a contingency piece?
the hood for the like a bigger hood for the ball diamond by Hamilton, some better dugouts, the pouring of a foundation with footings for the picnic shelter. Part of the issue was when the initial grant went in, there were a number of other amenities included, but the price of concrete has tripled since we were awarded this funding. And every time we look at it, we're like, we have to drop this, move this. So, which is why we've been working really hard to kind of have the three key elements and do those right, and then look at the contingencies. So
So the sooner this is approved, the sooner all this is, we can talk to the contractors, we can lock in the price.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then what's the difference between a concrete pad and it says dugout pads, field 1 and 2, and then you have concrete pad.
Because instead of just having a dirt dugout, if there's any funding left, we might be able to put some actual cement down there.
Okay.
So
Last question, is there any room for if somebody else comes along and wants to help fund something or?
yes,
Okay.
we could always add another pickleball court, a tennis court. There's still some additional room. And if you look at the rendering, you have the pickleball court, and then there's a little piece of cement where we could put another one next to it. See where those trees are? We could do another pickleball court next to it.
Or we could fix the basketball court.
Well, yes, we're looking at actually moving the basketball court to where the tennis court was.
We're not gonna get rid of the tennis court, right?
I don't know. That's because it's gonna take a lot of money. We were looking at adding possibly one pickleball court, one tennis court up in this area. And then putting the basketball court where the tennis court is. The reason for that, and that's not through this project at all, but you have the old building there. Right now, if anybody plays on that court, they either park in the alley or they drive across the field. And there are some people that live in those homes right there in the alley. So our thought was to move it a little closer to Hamilton, where that building is. If we were able to get that down, that could become a small parking lot for the northwest corner of the park.
Okay, so where was that? I'm sorry. I would think that we want to keep a tennis only because I noticed tennis has really picked up and it's picked up. I'm sure you know that already.
Yeah. It's called
Park.
money.
I got that. I'm just saying- So that's why I said if somebody.
And our original plan had a pickleball and a tennis ball court, which we had to decide which one we would do. The pickleball was a little less money, and it also serves more for the senior population. So we wanted to ensure that we added amenities for every age group. The diamonds for youth and adults, pickleball for adults and seniors, the exercise pad, and also the playscape for the youth.
So we can just consider that as part of the
Future plans, yes.
future plans.
Yes.
And again, somebody coming along to say, hey, I'd like to fund a piece of this or be a sponsor, that's gonna be okay. You know?
That is correct. And I work every day. They can just come see me.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So I'm inspired by that because although I don't play golf, we're so close to the golf course. If you put a driving range in, I'm talking about a tee and a net, you will get people to show up.
We just throwing out with them.
I'm just saying.
Now, wait a minute now.
I'm just saying, I don't even play golf.
If you look at the piece of property, it's just past the right of way there.
Huh?
It's City of Highland Park property. It's already fenced. There's an old playscape in there. We had talked about either doing a dog park or maybe a little putt-putt golf.
How about, I'm thinking driving range because you got a lot of people up there. Well, dogs, there's dog park going in right at John R. and Boston, brand new dog park, the Catholic Church is building. It's going to be a nice little park. But we don't have anything for golfers. Like I said, I'm not a golfer, but there's a significant number of people within 2 square miles of here that probably golf a lot. And they would, like a dog park, adopt it. They would take on once people found out there was someplace you can go and just hit balls into a net at full force. You find a lot of guys that drive Hamilton. They go to Palmer Woods and be like, you know what? I could get a tee. I can get in a cage, like a batting cage for golfers. And we would find it very well attended.
You know what, you get right on.
I did. And so they would pay to help support the park. I'm absolutely certain. Because just like I like putting on gloves and, punching the bag, for them, that's swinging that club to hit that ball. It's great therapy for those who do it. So this just food for thought. I really want to thank you. So when will we?
That being said, next week we're actually doing a golf clinic at the Center for the Youth, 9 to 1, Monday through Thursday. It's free.
Man, I'm gonna be at the office. I wish it went till Friday. How soon before this amended item comes to us for a vote in the next meeting?
Well, we can have the conversation tomorrow, so we'll take a look at where we're at.
I think sooner versus later for this.
I agree. Yes.
Because prices are like, woo.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the things too. For anybody that's bidding on doing construction right now, I feel for them because you really don't know. Next month it'll be a 30% tariff on tissue. So
one of the things that we have to do, because the funder must review all documents.
Yes.
This must go to the funder for approval before it comes to you for approval.
Okay, then sooner versus later. Then I will ask the administration if they will be kind enough to expedite getting this to us.
Okay.
And now that we have all of the documents, we have a breakdown of the budget. Is it possible for you guys to send us a copy? You can stop the screen share for a second. Is it possible for you guys to send us a copy of this presentation?
Absolutely.
We'll forward it out to the All City Council email. That way everyone will have it. They can have it in a digital copy. It can be converted to a hard copy. Ms. Norander, you never disappoint.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
So since Council President mentioned it, an even better option since we adding the softball, because I spent this summer trying to go find a place for some kids to do batting practice. So maybe
Batting cage.
including the batting cages.
I have some quotes for some indoor batting cages already, so I'm working on getting some funding.
I'm not done. Hold on, I'm not done. On the other side, how do we connect, or when, I guess, I don't, we might already have the drawings, but for the greenway, the parking, like the parking lot we used to have, or we have, how is that gonna still exist? And so I'm thinking about parking in this scenario. I know we want people to walk here and ride their bikes. And so I know all those things are in that contingency or future plans, but definitely since we do have a softball field, 2 of them, maybe thinking about the batting cage or a batting cage, but we also could do like, I believe it's Royal Oak. They actually have batting cages, a little thing where people can pay to come through the batting cage, and that money could be revenue. I don't know how that works, so that's where you come in, Sue. I'm just throwing it out there for you and the commission, whatever, but that would be funding. If they had to pay, I know everybody said we don't want to pay, but we have to. When I go out to
We
Royal
have to
Oak,
start
I
paying
pay
for some things,
yeah, when I
yes.
go to Royal Oak and say I want to go in the batting cage, we have to pay for that time. And then right across the street is where they do their softball and baseball and all those wonderful things. So thank you for the presentation.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so the request was made on numerous occasions several months ago to begin this process, and we already have. So I'm just typing this up as we go. This is a list of our top priorities for immediate review. At number 1, we have the graffiti ordinance, which was brought to us by the CED department. We don't have an ordinance. It's in process. It is being drafted by city council. We have the non-owner occupied rental ordinance. That review is in process. We were getting help from the McKenna Group and the CED director. The special events ordinance will be drafted by a council member. I didn't put anybody here. The food handler certificate will be drafted by council member. I didn't put anybody here. Street vendors, fireworks, the dog ordinance, lodging houses, which could possibly fall under item 3. I'm just going over this.
Okay.
Good. Item number 2. And then construction fees. I just added the top 2 to the list. Mr. El Shafi wanted us to put marijuana dispensaries on here.
Okay. Did we put say just dispensary?
Not
marijuana, just dispensary.
And like I
So-
told the council president, the reason that I say just dispensary, because they're the only part of the industry that has not taken advantage of the city to use the improper. The illegal row houses, they get no love. I will make no ordinance for them, they need to go.
We don't want to ordinance, no one with you on that one.
Yeah.
So then when you say, I'm sorry, will you finish naming?
Yeah, so here we are. This is where we at. We said we would make it 10. And remember, we got to do this in,
We're adding to the list, correct?
this is the list. Ms. Manica started this list. All I did was add these 2 that are in process.
Did we add street name?
So the question is, so this is the list so far. This comes directly from the email that she sent, plus the 2 that we're working on and the one that Mr. Al Shafi. If any of these need to be adjusted, again, let's remember, let me make sure I explain this thoroughly. The graffiti ordinance was started from scratch. It was provided to us, a example was provided to us by the CED department with the help of McKenna. Our job is to go through and see if what we like in that ordinance, it has to be read into the record and modifications need to be made. The same thing with the non-owner occupied rental ordinance. We've received 2 iterations of recommended changes to the current ordinance. Mr. Clyburn has talked to us on a number of occasions. He'll come back again. This special events ordinance, if it has to be written from scratch, let me tell you what my expectation is. And I'll use one that's not on here. I would actually think that it might go higher than some of these. There's a blight ordinance. Ms. Robinson has been talking about a blight ordinance for a number of months, actually. And so I think This is the list. We should adjust and make changes where need be. But for example, if there is an ordinance that you're providing as a reference to us, it'll be your job as the person who's sponsoring this bill, if you will, to come into the room to present the ordinance. It needs to be read. It's like a recipe. And we need to explain what's going to be changed in that actual ordinance. It is not, so when a bill is introduced in the Senate or in Congress, it is sponsored by the name of the representative who does that. They do all the work. Their team does all the work. In our case, we're our own team. So we do all the work. We have to read it through. And then we have to bring it to the body and say, here's what I read and here's what I understand. Here's what I'd like to change or modify to fit our city. We're not just going to throw these documents at Mr. Bostic because that's not what they do. They have been kind to do some legal reviews for us because that's within the purview of their work. But as far as the ordinance writing, it is not McKenna's job. They assist us. The same thing with the municipal codes. You have to understand there are 10,000 pages of municipal codes that are currently on file that are not 100% accurate. They've been modifications made over previous city councils that were not added to the municipal codes online. It's a big, giant document. In order to take these things out, just like we made modifications during our term in office, it needs to be recorded in the record. We have to reference it because the clerk we can't just tell the clerk, hey, remember that time we did X. The clerk is going to need the day of the meeting, the item in question. They're stored as resolutions. So they don't store our dialogue between one another. That's what the Open Meetings Act provided through the pandemic with Zoom. It's this permanent record. It's there for the internet is undefeated. So that's where we can go back and reference what we actually said if we don't recall what we said. That's normal. I'm sure there are people that don't recall what they said in February of 2023 on a random meeting. So that information is there. But in order to actually make these changes, city government is litigious. We are the lawmakers. So we have to draft a law and present it to the body, just like instructions on how to put something together and say, this is how I would like to alter it. So that's why I said in the very beginning, this is a heavy lift. It's not an easy task. We cannot push it on to someone else. If your passion is street vendor ordinance, as someone who has worked in the service industry, I would assume you might have more knowledge than the person sitting next to you. And so if you decide you want to read that through, like we've done before with the legal department, highlight it or redline it. Here's how I read it through. That gives a task. You don't just say, here's the ordinance and, figure it out. No, you can say, I read this. Here are the things that I think are relevant for our discussion. Here are the things that fit for the city of Highland Park. And this is why I think they should be added to our ordinance or removed from our ordinance. Or this is a better look of what the ordinance should be like. Because we don't have an ordinance for special events. So we would have to draft that as a body. We would have to say, because we would have to include everything. That would be weddings, birthday parties, repasses, graduations, family reunions, weddings. Highland Park, there were a lot of people who got married in their backyard in Highland Park. So when we decide we want to craft an ordinance to deal with special events where streets are blocked off, and block clubs do this every year across the city. We actually are privileged. They can't do none of this in Detroit. Like we are extremely privileged to be in control of this little 2.9 square mile city. So that means we have a lot of latitude. And it's going to require conversations with homeowners, apartment dwellers, senior apartment dwellers. Everyone's going to have a different perspective. Business owners in the area. Because some business owners might not mind it at all. If you're at a liquor store on Woodward Avenue, next to the old McDonald's, you love a street event. Right. They sell out their inventory. But if you own the auto parts store, it might be a little challenge for you. And so we want to make sure that we have all of those voices, because I believe that when we have those voices, we can sort of find something in the middle. Ms. Manica, you wanted to offer to the conversation?
I do. So Ms. Martin had the question about, can we add number 11? So when I made the list, I left off some spaces, and Council President.
Yeah, I just added these two at the top, and then I added Mr. El Shafis.
That's okay. He filled in. So we're at 10. But if something is really more important that's not on this list, I mean, we could put a star 11, and I can't remember what you said. Blight could be star 11, or
I think blight should be 3. I think there's been a lot of conversation about it.
To it, but I just came up with, I think at that time was just the top 8 and said we'll fill in the rest. And so the ideal is that, hey, somebody say, hey, I want to work on this because we need to get this done. And it doesn't have to be just one person.
Right.
People can work on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Put
And you
together a
can
work
bounce some
group.
stuff
We've
off
had that
each
happen
other.
already.
But I think that we want to add 12. I can't remember what you asked for, Ms. Martin.
I got that, like, for right now, to me, like, fireworks.
We already have an animal ordinance. Remember that we voted on the
That's
animal.
what I'm saying, I don't even think animal ordinance or the fireworks should be 7 and 8. Because one, we're already past the point of fireworks happening, we're not even in that month, that day is over. You know, and then, we already have a dog ordinance, I don't even know what changes we're gonna even make with the dog ordinance at this point.
Yeah,
What
we
I'm talking about is naming.
street naming.
Right.
So street naming should be fairly well.
No, I
don't
don't
think
think it's
it's-
on there. It should be on.
I mean, I was gonna say it's fairly easy, but again, so the criteria. So just considering the fact that everyone voted in favor of the last street naming, although some of us did it under duress. Not that the street naming was an issue. I believe everybody agreed that the street naming was a fantastic idea. I think the duress came in because we have to set a precedent. And so right now we were all acting out of our own personal emotions towards the person that was recognized in the street. We all have a deep affinity for Commissioner Scott and her place in the city. Everybody wants to make sure she get her flowers now. So we were in favor. But again, that did create a moment where people were not 100% sure of how to proceed with that process because we could not guarantee a reproducible, fair process because we hadn't created any rules. I think we've only done it twice. And one time we did it, I think it was in 24, early 24. I forget the street that we named.
The pastor that passed away.
Yeah, the pastor. So we did it posthumously. And I think under those circumstances, you know, posthumous street names, your story is written. So it's easy to culminate, if you will, with the naming of a street. The decision again was to give Commissioner Scott her flowers now. But
Still, it's still open. It opened up a situation.
yes, ma'am.
That now, I want a name, I want a street after me, and then somebody else is gonna come along and they want a street for this reason, and so we just need to come up with, because somewhere in this term, we were told that you had to be deceased, which I think all of us agree, and if I'm wrong, please just say, no, I don't agree with that, is that we want to give people their flowers where they're living. So that would definitely, if that is in there, then that might be something that we take out. You know, it's just me talking there. So I guess we could put that as number 9, Council President.
Yeah, but let me just show, I went and I changed the list. So food handler certificates and street vendors. I believe we already have something on the book for street vendors.
We do.
We have an ordinance on the book. So if
It's
it's
new,
time to
that's
go
why.
and review that, we can bring those two together. Again, this is going to take, we're still on graffiti and a non-occupied rental ordinance. Go ahead.
We asked for that ordinance and we were told by the administration that the ordinance doesn't exist.
You talking about for street vendors?
Yeah.
We do. There's a street vendor.
There is an ordinance.
There's a license. Madam Clerk,
So-
is there a licensing process right now for street
What would
vendors
be
in place?
helpful? So what would be helpful if there is an existing ordinance? Maybe we can get a copy of those existing ordinances that's on this list. If anything that's on this list has an existing ordinance, it would be nice to have a copy of it because we were told there was no copy.
So what we're
We
gonna,
were told the ordinance didn't exist.
okay.
In fact, I personally saw an email from the administration where they told Council.
Can you pull that back up real
That
quick?
the
Yep.
that the ordinance did not exist.
Yes.
Ma'am, would you go right ahead, ma'am?
Me.
This is the clerk wanted to address.
Oh, okay.
When the council took office, each council member was provided a copy of the ordinance book and
I went through
any
that book left and right. I
ordinances
didn't
that
find it.
were passed that were not in the book was put in a brown envelope
Mhm.
and given to you. So
Okay,
you have everything.
I looked through that, brown envelope, I kept them two together. Okay?
Yes.
I kept it together, it's like.
Got it.
the Bible for this for council, okay? I looked through that book, I looked through that Bible, and I looked through that brown folder, I did not find a special events ordinance,
No,
not find it.
There's-
There's not a special event.
There's not one.
Okay,
But there is.
an events ordinance. I found an events
Exactly.
ordinance,
Yes.
but not a special events ordinance.
Right.
Okay, thank you. All right.
And
So,
this,
so
But
then,
we have a street vendor.
okay. So, and then now I was actually here when Rodney and did that ordinance. I remember that
Right.
street vendor.
Right.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
it's
Uh,
A7401, just in case you don't,
So
A74.
if anyone has any questions about where to find it,
Yes.
on the website, the Highland Park Code of Ordinances, the Muni Codes is there.
Okay,
All you gotta do is click on it and begin your search. It will require, again, some knowledge of what you're looking for, but it's there. This is a arduous task. Go ahead, Madam Pro Tem.
Where's the location of the street vendor?
I'm sorry,
874.
What, the location in Hyde Park
where's the what location for the what? I'm sorry.
for the vendors?
Where's the location for the vendor?
Like,
they put it in the area. I thought it was Manchester.
It is.
I can't answer that question. I'm sure it's,
Or,
so if you're saying that there is one,
not for special events, but the ordinance. That's a stipulation that you have to be. to
That's the
certain-
first-
that's for
That's
food
the
trucks,
food.
man. That's what I thought, for food trucks, not,
So
not,
you're saying that, the vendors can be anywhere in Hyde Park,
no, ma'am. I think what,
and a clerk,
go ahead, ma'am.
street vendors can be in anywhere in Hyde Park, so I know I saw the Italian Iceman by Family
He
Dollar.
has a license. He gave the council.
And we approved that.
So that means he can be anywhere in Hyde Park.
No, he
No, I
falls
thought he
under
approved a certain
the
location.
park. Yeah, park food truck.
So other street vendors and, folks, they can be anywhere in Hyde Park if they have a license.
Special event vendors only.
Okay, so I think we have a very robust list to work from. I will make a copy of that list. I'll send it out to members. Again, the expectation is that if this is your passion project, you will lead. You will read it. We'll go over the document. We'll find the areas that need to be modified or the suggestions of modification. The members will deliberate on that, and then we'll make those recommendations. We have the power through a simple motion to modify an ordinance. All we have to do is make that motion, identify the section, the language that is going to be removed and or replaced. Am I correct? I'm sorry. Okay, go right ahead, ma'am.
Special event vendors can only be located at the special event with a permit issued by the clerk's office
But say that one
for
more
that,
time, one more time.
for that day only.
Say that one more time, Ms.
Special
Graham.
event vendors can only be at the special event with a permit issued by the clerk's office. It's $150 and it's only good for that event at that time.
Okay.
All right, and with that, we will have the workshop come to a close at 7 p.m. and the regular scheduled city council meeting will start in 5 minutes.
Yes.